So we're really happy to virtually be here today and welcome you to our second XYZ Talk meeting, where Generation X, Y, and Z meet. Today you're participating to the second event, our series of online meeting aimed at bringing together these three generations to eventually learn from the X generation, act as the Y generation, and think like the Z generation. Now, I would like to introduce you to Elena De Nicolis, postdoctoral researcher and adjunct professor of governance of innovation and sustainability at the Department of Law, who will talk about the essence of our master's degree, and to my dear friend and colleague, Julianne, who will present you the LDIS community and show you how the X Lab work, what we will face in the upcoming weeks. And indeed, right now, our colleagues are spread around the campus in Viale Pola, attending the very first meeting of the X Labs, where we will focus on innovative and sustainable solutions. Both will give you insights on how this master is structured in its activities and our community. So after this, we are really pleased to have here with us two guest speakers, Rosy Cinefra, NTD Vice President and Head of Legal and Compliance, and Andrea Buonomini, RATP, the CEO. So for everyone who has questions, we have in the chat box, so feel free to type your questions in and we will try to answer them all. As a starting point, I will like to leave the floor to our professor, Elena De Nicolis, to talk about the essence of our master's degree.
Thank you, Margherita. Thank you, Julianne, and thank you to all the participants for sharing this time during the afternoon with us. So as Margherita said, I'm Elena De Nicolis. I'm a postdoc fellow researcher at the Department of Political Science, and I am also adjunct professor of governance of innovation and sustainability within this new master degree of law, digital innovation and sustainability. So this is the first master launched by by the Lewis School of Law on the it's master degree. It's a master degree with a core courses within the field of law, but directed towards the issue of, on one side, digital innovation, on the other side, sustainability. So the reason why the master degree is focused on this triad, so the core disciplinary approach is based on legal studies, but you can find courses both within the core courses and the electives that applies methodologies from economics, political science, computer science to the topics to analyze the different topics addressed by corporations, NGOs, states, cities, local governments is one of the key issues dealt with by the master courses, and all the challenges and opportunities that the tension between digital innovation and sustainability are presenting in terms of their societal challenges and on how to achieve the sustainable development goals, as well as measuring social impact through the ESG. So why law, why digital innovation, why sustainability? So the professional goals that this master degree is aimed at forming are within, within the broader area of the law, but you can find applications in the sustainability offices that are increasingly being formed within corporations, within cities, within regional governments, states, and of course NGOs, both small level NGOs and regional area-based or even global NGOs. As you can see here, you can see some data about how the digital transformation on one side, the digitalization and emergent technologies, and on the other side, sustainabilities are changing the professional expertise and the skills, both vertical skills and horizontal skills that are required within this field. I'm so sorry, I was having issue with my audio. So The master degree is composed of 2 years, of course. The first year, divided in both years are divided in 2 semesters. During the first years, you will attend core courses on different fields, and then you start engaging with the research and innovation labs and the responsible research and innovation labs, and of course labs that will transfer you many other cross-cutting skills that you can apply to build your final project work. Then in the second semester of the first year, as Margherita and Julien were anticipating, you will bring the responsible research and innovation projects that you started developing during the first semester into the X Labs. The X Labs are open innovation. It's an open innovation path built in collaboration with corporate partners. The CEO of Ratepedev is with us today to talk about, and of course, they are also one of the partners of the X Labs. The first year, the kickoff of the X Labs, we decided to focus on the clusters of the Horizon Europe funding program of the European Commission. Next year, we will co-design something else together with the new students, of course, because it's a co-creation process, and we will find new corporate partners or more broadly speaking partners that we will help students and of course hopefully students-based startups to bring the research and innovation idea and build into a proof of concept, to turn ideas into proof of concepts. Then at the end of Labs, these ideas have been turned into an actual project, an actual prototype of a proof of concept, students will be able to apply them and to bring them to life into internships. During the second year, therefore, they will work individually on their final project work, which can be a more rather than being a traditional master thesis, a written essay of a certain number of words, we hope that the final project work can be an actual functioning prototype, possibly incubated within a students-led startup. Thank you. So I was already anticipating that the different skills, both vertical in terms of the topics addressed and cross-cutting horizontal skills, soft skills that this course is going to give you, they can help you shape your professional future in This is just an example. These are just examples of possible jobs that the job market is actually creating room for to manage the complexity presented by the tension between digitalization and emerging technologies and sustainability, social, economic, ecological sustainability. So we can see here Chief Sustainability Officer, Chief Risk Management or Compliance Officer, Chief Innovation Officer, and Chief Operating Officer. A concrete example and application, it's in the corporate world, where we can see an increasing number of offices devoted specifically to develop policies to make the company itself more sustainable, and also, of course, the services and products that they offer. Also at the local governments level, the example of the city science offices that are being created within cities like Amsterdam, Reggio Emilia in Italy, Paris, they are precisely aimed at bringing researchers, experts in digital innovation and sustainability into the city offices to help cities develop empirically robust public policies. So let's go ahead with the presentation. And in terms of the methodological approach of the master's degree, inquiry-based activities are the core of the teaching method. So, of course, there is especially the core courses, but also the electives, they do have at their heart a very strong theoretical, conceptual, and empirical knowledge that. So, of course, the knowledge transfer is strongly rooted in theoretical, conceptual, and empirical sciences in the different disciplines: law, economics, political science, data science, in the different disciplines addressed by the course. But the inquiry-based approach is very important. So that means that experimentations and practice always come first. So practice and experiments carried out on field through applied research and not just theoretical or empirical research are the basis. They are theory firming. So practice comes before theory. This is transferred, of course, also in the approach towards internships and towards your more practical and pragmatic growth within the course. So job on the training. We saw before how from the R&I labs, the RR and I labs, the X labs, and finally the internships, you will learn what to do on the job. So you will work within innovation units in our partners to learn how to actually do things. Of course, this will also be coupled with singularity and uniqueness. So you will be encouraged to carry out both teamwork and individual work. So you will be, every course, almost every course, will foresee as an evaluation method through innovative laboratory sessions, co-working sessions, both digitally or in person, that of course depends on the condition. You will be working at the same time on individual outputs and collective outputs. So outputs carried out like a project idea, a concept idea, a grant application. These are all examples of concrete outputs you will develop within the course and can form part of your evaluation. This is, of course, to support you and enable you to nurture at the same time your original and unique perspective and to shape your own future, but also to work as a member or leader of a team. So let's go ahead. And so I have already anticipated this very briefly. The first year, it's divided into a first semester and second semester. At the first semester, you will deal with these 4 core courses: the law and policy of innovation and sustainability, ethics of innovation and sustainability, economics of innovation, digital transformation. At the second semester, you will follow up on the same topics, but from a different perspective. So you will have the governance of innovation and sustainability. It's a direct follower of the law and policy of innovation and sustainability, criminal compliance and new technologies, intellectual property law, new technologies and labor law. As you can see, these are all key steps, and these are all the different building blocks of a very strong proof of concept or of a grant application. So this is all directed towards that goal. The elective courses are, well, of course, they are, as you can see, they are divided into elective courses from the disciplinary background of social sciences and elective courses from a disciplinary background of so-called hard rocket sciences. So you can choose between pharma and therapies, healthcare, hard science, food tech. You will be able to apply here the basic knowledge you learned in the core courses to the, of course, to the different topics and potential societal or commercial implications of those. So let's go ahead. And one of the most innovative elements of this master's degree is scholarships and so-called studentships, LDIS-ships, that we were able to collect thanks, of course, to the LUIS staff, both teaching staff and administrative staff, and the corporate partners, institutional partners, and NGOs that are supporters of this master degree, were able to create a handful of scholarships and studentships. They can be either direct exemption of your tuition fee, or they can be a form of scholarship that is used to allow you to give you the room you need to work on your project within one of the partners, so in collaboration with one of the partners. So working there to develop your own project. So again, it can be also, of course, renewed for the second year. either if it's the partial scholarship or the full scholarship, that depends. So it can be for the first year and then renew it for the second year. And then, of course, there are the full scholarships for prospective students, so you can already have a look at those. They are funded by LUIS and the LDIS partners. So you will see that even if you don't get this opportunity before the start of the program, new opportunities will arise even during the duration throughout the master degree. So you will be always fed and nurtured with new opportunities. I think this is all on my side. So these are the contacts at DIS, X-Labs, and the contact of the course director, Professor Cristina Iaione, whom I'm substituting today. And I don't know if other professors from the department or the director, Professor Punzi, was able to join us right now, and maybe I'm gonna yield the floor to them. Otherwise, I'm gonna call on Margherita and Julien. Thank you for your attention and for your time, and for any kind of questions, we are here. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Now I'll leave the floor to my colleague Julianne, who was explaining to you the X-Lab structure.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. As my friend and colleague Margherita already said, I am Julianne Eusch, and I am a first-year student of the MSc in Law, Digital Innovation and Sustainability. Today, I have the pleasure and honor to present our community, so the students of the first year of the LDIS course. Please, you can go to the next slide. As you can see, we come from very different backgrounds of study, different countries, and we also have different goals for our future. I am myself from Switzerland, and I have a bachelor's degree in political science. My colleague Margherita, who is hosting today this meeting, has also a bachelor degree in philosophy. This master's with its interdisciplinarity, and practical activities will accompany us in our path towards our professional life. So you can go on with the slides, please. Yes. The courses of the first semester provided us with the tools to participate in the X-Labs that has actually started today, as everyone knows now. For example, some of the courses of the first semester gave us the tools of qualitative, quantitative, and also empirical research, as Professor Elena Delinctolis just presented, and the X-Lab. So that is the point where we are at right now in our path. Will prepare us also towards the next steps of our in the way towards our professional career, which are after the X-Labs, the internships, and the final project of the course. So we have talked a lot about the X-Labs, but let me give you some insights about what are actually these X-Labs. The students will work in group with private, public, and also civil actors. And during these sessions of co-design, as Professor Delinctolis already presented, the students will generate with professionals new ideas and innovation, basing themselves on an experimentalistic approach. The purpose of this X-Lab is actually to expose students to the work environment, which will then help them, forge the skills that they will have to work on their internship period. The kickoff meeting actually takes place the students are working hand in hand with the partners and they will work hand in hand for 2 months until mid-May, more or less. Each X Lab will work separately, and all the students will get the opportunity to gain awareness and analyze the best solutions for each sectors. In the end, the group will present the proof of concepts and their final pitch. As you can see, there are 6 X labs, sorry. The first cluster is the future of city and region, and this X Lab will focus on urban mobility, challenges such as traffic, and also sustainable development in this sector. I am personally part of the future of cities and region, and today we have the chance and the honor to have with us Andrea Bonomini, which is the CEO of RATP Dev, of our main partner. We will also have the chance to collaborate with NLX and Enea, two giants in the sector of mobility and in cities. The second X Lab is the future of Earth. And in that X Lab, the students will have the chance to explore new natural-based solutions to enhance touristic attractiveness, develop agri-food and eco-service validation too. They will collaborate with the World Bank, Confagricoltura, and Agenda Tevere. Margherita, my dear friend and colleague, is actually part of that X Lab, the future of Earth. The third X Lab is the future of industry and manufacturing, and it aims to find a sustainable and innovative way to sell products for companies. This X Lab will test the application of new technologies to achieve ecological transition using digitalization. This cluster will collaborate with the very famous company EY. Then we have also the cluster, the future of well-being, which will focus on developing innovation in the field of wellness. The purpose is to transform the healthcare sector. And I think it's, of course, very relevant during and also after the emergency of COVID-19. They will partner with the company Entity Data. Maybe you can, yeah, pass. Thank you. The future of automotive and transportation will also address specifically the challenge of the 5G implementation, developing autonomous driving solution too. They will partner with NLX and Qualcomm for this cluster. And last but not least, the cluster, the future of energy, telcos and network, will work on implementing alternative solutions to develop sustainable buildings and neighborhoods such as smart communities. And they will partner with NLX, BIP, and Enea. So as you can see, the main focus of this XYZ community is its intergenerational approach. It represents definitely a challenge for us students of the first year students of this masters. However, you future students, you can also be a part of the change already from this year and participate with us through the launch of our website xyz.camp. So you can use the QR code and visit our website and join already from now some of the digital activities that we will do together during this semester. You can submit also your application for the LDIS Masters and register to the website XYZ Camp, and we will be very happy to collaborate also with us during the very exciting X Labs. Moreover, I think that now it is pretty clear that this master's degree values very much collaboration between students. And I think that it's very important and very precious to learn from another, and also be able to merge our skills and share our knowledge, because everyone has interest for different aspects, and I think that we can really enrich our community. So to give you some insights of our everyday life here in Lewis, in the Roman campus, our very beautiful university, you can see how this collaboration materializes with our Instagram page that we have just started. So it's the second QR code, and you can also interact with us through Instagram, which is a very informal and friendly way of having a first approach to this master's degree. So don't hesitate to scan the two QR codes in order to learn more from us, and we will be very happy to answer to all your questions, and don't hesitate to be curious. Thank you.
Thank you so much again to our professor and Julie. You really covered everything there's to know about our course of study. And as you might have understood, we have a quite challenging semester ahead of us, but we're more than happy and motivated to get to work. Now, I want to focus on the highlights of today's event. We are pleased to hear from Rosy Cinefra, NTT Vice President, Head of Legal and Compliance, and Andrea Buonomini, RATP Dev CEO. So first, I will ask each of you two questions, respectively going back and forth, and then I will ask one last question to both of you. So due to time constraint, I will kindly ask you to keep your answer in a time span of 5 or 6 minutes each. And if it's okay with you, I will start right away with the first question to Rosy Cinefra. Welcome, I hope you're well, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So we know that NTT Data is constantly committed to innovate. And I want to ask you, how did the COVID-19 crisis accelerate the pace also of the digital transition for firms and businesses? Which professional figures are necessary to master the uncertainty deriving from the actual scenario of digital transition? And why and how are legal skills relevant in this scenario?
Okay, so I have 3 questions.
Yeah.
So my opinion is that, of course, with COVID-19, we had consumer business rapid adoption of digital technology, and this probably impressed all of us. I remember that the first 8 weeks of the pandemic last year, it looked like digital transformation moved forward 5 years. This pandemic has also changed significantly people's behaviors and interactions, both in the professional and in the private context. We've seen a huge increase of contactless payments, a rapid growth of e-commerce, a shift to remote working. And I think we can expect that most people will keep using digital channels or working remotely to a higher degree than in the past. So what I think is that technology helps to cope with these changes, but we also need to have the skills to manage them, to provide the customers with what they need. Consequently, we also need professionals that have a mix of digital skills, soft skills, business skills, and also legal skills. Yes, I think that the last question was about legal skills. I think are essential. And I wanted to give you a real example of what is happening every day in our company, in NTT Data, to understand that. Our company, we develop artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and we design customer new services, new technology services, digital services. And every time we develop one of these services, let's think about artificial intelligence, where we have, let's say, a product which includes face recognition. We need to take into consideration a lot of things. And one of them is also compliance with the law, compliance with data protection laws. And so IT teams and legal teams start a journey together. And this journey is kind of to develop a product taking into consideration privacy by default and by design, security by default and by design. And this means a strict interaction between IT and legal teams through the entire project. And in this scenario, the person developing the product needs to understand applicable laws. And if his knowledge of legal rules is advanced, he will be able to work more autonomously on requirements and also reduce timing for legal review, reworking, and so on. On the other side, very often innovation goes with no law at all. So you need to understand what is what kind of decision you have to take to produce that product. And you need also to make a risk assessment, or if you are under time constraints, you also need to understand law to take reasonable risks. At the last but not least, I would like to consider that there are recent research, and probably you showed them before, that there are many successful CEOs that have legal expertise. Legal expertise is complementary to business expertise and allows to identify risk, knowing how to manage it, taking decisions with a higher level of awareness, and of course, it may help accelerate on taking also the decision. It's really true. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you so much. It's a very fascinating answer. In fact, you mentioned really so many products that we studied in the first semester, and this surely motivates to work as harder and harder to become the 4.0 lawyer we aspire to be. So thank you. Now, I will just ask Andrea Buonomini to be here with us. So welcome again. We're more than happy to have you here today. Can you? Yeah. If I may, I would ask directly to you the question we prepared for you. So we know that RATP Dev is constantly committed also to innovate the transportation sector to make it more sustainable. So how is the ecological transition reshaping the transportation sector? And which are the actions that you at RATP Dev will take in the next years to green the sector actually? Which are the renewable also energy sources that you consider promising for the future of the sector?
Thank you for the question and good afternoon to everybody. The RATP started the ecological transition since 2014 with the bus 2025 plans. That is an ambitious plan to renew all the in Paris. So this means that more than 4,700 buses will be electrical or biodiesel, biogas in 2025. I would like to underline the fact that we start in 2014 because the transition has need to be tested, has need to be tailored. For example, we spend from 2014 up to 2018 to test power recharge and all kind of type of vehicle and constructor in order to well understand which could be for Paris, because as I said always, there aren't a solution, a common solution for every kind of needs, but there is a solution specific for each kind of a city or each kind of local activity. For this reason, what I say for the innovation, it's always that the innovation must be focused on the needs that you have or the public authority have. For this reason, the second phase in Paris started in 2019 on large scale to renew the entire fleet of buses. But at the same time, just to say to you that the innovation doesn't starts but doesn't stop anytime. In London, Ratepedev in 2020, also during the COVID pandemic, launched its third 100% electric line, the first double-decker buses electric in the English capital, London. And in 2022, Ratepedev will operate 15 route zero emission mode and reconvert 5 depot to electric, because also this reconversion is very, very hard, and especially in the center of the city, where some infrastructure are not able to be changed or to be readapted. To answer to the last your question, I believe that we are not to focus on one type of renewable sources, but we have to be open-minded in order to use and catch the best of the mature and innovative technology offer. So we are not to focus on electrical vehicle, because today everybody speak about electrical vehicle, but we believe that we have to understand which is in that time, in that context, the best solution to implement. For this reason, I don't believe that the best solution is the electrical solution, but could be that the best solution could be for a specific city, another kind of solution. Personally speaking, I believe that the really zero impact for the future solution will be the hydrogen solution. This is for me, but personally speaking, so this is not a right position. But I believe that if we will be able to manage the storage of hydrogen, and also all the safety aspect that the hydrogen must have, I believe that we will reach the best solution, zero impact for the future.
Thank you so much for your thorough answer and for sharing also your personal opinion. Now, I only want to say that renewable sources are really an important topic for us all, and I know that the insights you gave us will be vital for some of our X Labs also initiatives. So now let me come back to Rosy Cinefra. I wanted to go straight with the second question, if I may.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you. So there's always a complex connection between university and the job market, and many believe that, in fact, there's a misalignment between these two words. There are, of course, some exceptions, and one of these is represented by Lou's degree and our LDIS inquiry-based and engaged approach. Do you agree, first of all? And how can a firm benefit from a source of innovation and growth from students and researchers? With why also Entity Data decided to invest on a scholarship for our prospective students of the LDIS master's degree? Thank you.
Thank you. So I believe that different experience, complementary experience and skills are essential for the management of complex, innovative projects. Companies, students, university working together create value and growth for all the parties involved. Contamination also can boost creativity. And so the reason why we invested in a scholarship for this master is because we firmly believe that to create innovation, a multidisciplinary approach is a must. Also, in addition, as you probably know, there is still a gap between the company demands of candidates with a certain skill and the offering that we have in the market. And of course, we are happy to contribute in helping students to build the skills that are required to kind of be able to find a job in the current labor market. So this is I hope this answers your question.
Yes, of course, and thank you again. This is for the prospective students, so you will get to know very well the quintuple helix model with this master's degree. So yeah, I'm confident enough to say also thank you on behalf of the prospective students for this chance. Now let me go back to one nomine. We know that you are a member of the steering committee of the Law, Digital Innovation and Sustainability Masters of Science. So what are, in your opinion, the key enabling aspects that that best position this program to tackle the challenges of digital transformation and sustainable development? And what will in 2050 define a well-rounded and successful professional? And lastly, why also RATP Dev decided to invest on a scholarship for prospective students or these masters as entity data?
But there are not only one question, are more questions.
As always, I'm sorry.
Okay. I believe that the key enabler aspect is the one related to the law framework and feasibility. This is very important because I believe that the speed of idea often doesn't take into account the law context. In the X Lab, we have spoken about the autonomous vehicle. We have seen that the solution of autonomous vehicle is already mature, but in the other end, there is a missing in the law context. So you are not able to put on the route due to the law problem. So I believe that this master can help all the people to understand that there are inside of each item related of innovation a law framework and feasibility that you must take into account in order to avoid to spend money. My view related to the successful professional is that the successful professional in the future will be able to link and merge together innovation aspect, financial and legal knowledge, beside a project management skill. So I believe I say you have to take this master, but it seems something already prepared, but I believe really that these are the skill and the aspect that the successful professional in the future must have. For what concerns always the people, there is in the mission of RATP to recruit and training talent, develop skills, create a job, enrich and dynamize the region and local places. It's for this reason that we have chosen to invest on a scholarship. And also because we believe that this prospective student should be the protagonist to help the city and the PTA, the public transport authorities, to take the essential change of energy transition. So it's not only for us, because our soul is a public soul. because we are a public company. So this means that we want to have a better quality of life, not only business for RATPs. This is our position. Thank you.
Thanks to you, and also thanks on behalf of the prospective students, I think. We're really enthusiastic to be the forerunners of this program and to eventually become such a successful professional we just discussed about. I just saw on the chat box few questions that I wanted to briefly answer to. So the first one I think will be discussed in a minute, so I'll keep you waiting. And the second is instead, would you recommend this course only to students having a legal economic background? Will a student coming from an economic or political science background encounter some difficulties? I just want to reassure you by saying that I'm actually graduated in philosophy. So you don't need a solid law background to be enrolled in these masters and to actually have a good starting point as all the others. Actually, 37% of currently enrolled students have a political science background and 30% of economics. So don't worry, you'll be fine. And if there will be pre-courses for those of us who lack a robust background on law and it's for the subject, yes, you will have some pre-courses also before the very first introductory weeks. So really, don't worry, you graduated in philosophy, so you can do it also. Thank you. So let me briefly just ask a quick question to the both of you. With this master's degree, we're experiencing a job on the training approach. In their R&I lab, we write EU projects and learn how to create and fund an idea or manage a project. While in the X labs, we work in teams as professionals from the first day in order to develop innovative business, financial, and legal solutions like new business unit, startups, and innovative partnership contracts. I would ask you to name 3 skills that are key to become successful managers of the ecological and digital transformation, and 1 reason why Rome and Italy is the best place to acquire and practice them. This time I would like to hear first from Andrea Bonomini.
Okay. So let me say before that I think this is really the right way to provide students with all theoretical and operational tools, as well methodologies to be able to deal with the future challenges of the market. And so I would like to, I think doing experiments and experience with a big multinational company is not a common experience in an academic environment. And so congratulations to Luis for having believed and invested in this model. I really believe that. And regarding the 3 skills, I think that there are, for me, 3 very important skills are creativity, which boosts innovation, risk assessment, being able to do risk assessment and management, risk management, and flexibility or adapting easily to change, meaning you are able to easily adapt to change. So Rome is the most beautiful city in the world for me, but the reality is that you also can get in touch with the multicultural environment, which also nurture creativity and innovation. So I think it's a right place to do this master.
We totally agree. Resilience is the key element for us. We understood this while embarking on this experience. And yes, Rome also is marvelous. So now I want to hear from Andrea Bonomini.
So for what concerns the 3 skills, I fully agree with you and with Rosie, because I believe, and also I speak about your answer the question that say that maybe are able to be a student this master due to the fact that I had humanistic culture or something like this. I say yes. I can say yes because because it's a merge of this master is a merge of knowledge that can help you to guide in a right guide and give you the methodology in order to go on the market, which any kind of market. For what concerns Italy and Rome, the aspect of transport is in particular Rome is far behind, not only on innovation and the energy transition aspect, but also on structuring of basic transport. It missing a lot of metro, it missing a lot of tramway, it missing a lot of the basic transport system. But I believe that the challenge could be to invest, first of all, to reach at least the average level of Europe transport offer. But in the other hand, to taking this chance in order to anticipate also the innovation. So we invest to go to the same level, but the same level of transport offer, but with a good quality, with a big innovation or respect to the other. For example, London, the metro of London is the old metro in the Europe, and it's very difficult to change, to innovate that kind of infrastructure. We can build a new infrastructure, and this means that if you have the opportunity to build the greenfield infrastructure, you can use all the innovation, all the information, all the solution, technical solution that you have today, and can put you at the first level in respect of the other country in Europe.
Thank you again. In the meantime, I'll say that we enjoy walking in Rome. And I wanted to thank you and to thank our two guests once again. Remind you that for our master's degree, 2 full scholarship will be available thanks to our guest companies, Entity Data and RATP Dev. So thank you very much. In addition, on Tuesday, 12 currently enrolled students were assigned a studentship made available by labgov.city, Alleanza Assicurazioni and Fondazione Gasbarri, and ENY. Studentship differently from scholarships come with strings attached. So the recipients are required to become the X-Lab tutors, be involved in European research and innovation projects, and eventually to play key roles in the LDIS empowerment program.